everyone, and for this video I'm going to be talking about hamsters versus gerbils. So it's not really like which one is better, but it's more of just like which one is like the best for you, like what kind of pet like you're looking for, like like if you're thinking about buying one, which one do you think that would be more like just right for you basically. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get on to the video. Okay, so overall, hamsters and gerbils basically, if you know anything about them, they basically have like really similar care routines. Like they use the same kinds of wheels, they use the same kinds of bedding, just like food, they eat the same kinds of foods too. So like on that, it's not really like a difference. But like let's just go ahead and talk about handling. So like if you want a pet that you can handle more and like tame it really well, I think that the best like on that area would probably be a hamster. But not a dwarf hamster, because dwarf hamsters, that's the kind I have, and those are definitely harder to tame. They're just like, I mean, it's like, it doesn't even matter how much you hold them sometimes. I mean, they'll still bite sometimes. They'll still, poop on your hand, or just, they'll just sort of go a little wild. Like, they're pretty crazy, but like Syrians, they can start out pretty wild. I know I had a Syrian that started out really wild, but then like after taming, she ended up being like the sweetest little hamster. She would fall asleep in your hand. She would just walk. She would never poop on you. She never ever bit though. She was a great hamster. So it does depend on the hamster sometimes, but Syrians you'll definitely have better luck taming, especially like as they get, like as you hold them like every day and as they start getting a little bit older, they'll calm down a little bit and they'll end up being great pets and really fun. So yeah, but like gerbils, they are wild. I have two gerbils, and they're crazy. You put like a toy in there, it'll be gone in a matter of minutes, or like if you get a bigger toy, sometimes it'll be gone like in a day. Like they're so crazy. Like they just tear everything apart. They're wild. Like you hold them, they just run all over you. Like I can't hold my gerbils anymore because they're just so crazy. Like I know a lot of people don't really handle their gerbils. They just make sure that they have a wheel and plenty of things to do inside so they don't get bored. And they'll have exercise in there, because some people think it's not good for gerbils to be running around in balls. So I'm not for sure like what I think about that. I may talk about that like in another video. But yeah, so anyway, I cannot hold my gerbils anymore. They are just so crazy. Like it's like if you go to a pet store and maybe you could ask to handle one of the gerbils, I don't know, you could probably see for yourself that they bite, they pee on you, they're crazy. But yeah, so if you're looking for one you can handle better, I would definitely go with a hamster, a Syrian hamster to be exact, because dwarf hamsters are also pretty crazy, just nothing compared to a gerbil though. And then on like cage cleaning, I know that it's probably like the same for a lot of people, but I feel like my hamster cage gets dirtier and starts smelling like in a week or so, but I feel like gerbils, like my gerbils, it seems like they can go like 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know why. I mean, gerbils are definitely wild and everything, but for some reason their cage just never really like starts smelling, and it never really looks too dirty after, like in that time. Like in a week it's still like, I mean, yeah, there will be like toys and like stuff like laying all over the place and everything. It probably depends on how many like toys and chews that you give them, but sometimes like that just like the gerbils just somehow like seem more clean or something. I'm not really sure why, but I guess if you're looking for something you don't have to clean out every time, I guess it may depend on what gerbil you get or what hamster you get. But like my gerbils like personality or whatever, like really they just don't really seem like they're as dirty as hamsters for some reason. I don't really know why. I don't know if it's like that for everyone, but for me that's how it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that if you want something that you won't have to clean out like once a week, if you want to wait like 2 to 3 weeks, then I would probably say gerbils, because that's how it is for me. Another thing is like food and water. I've noticed that my hamster also seems to eat their food and their water faster than my gerbil. Like my gerbil will take like a while, like both of them together like would take a while to finish all their food. Like they just don't eat like as they still eat really well and everything, they just don't finish it as fast. They're eating great, but it just takes them a while just to go through all of it for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And it also seems like hamsters drink more water too, probably because they eat more. And another thing I was thinking is like their tanks probably my hamster's tanks probably seem like it gets dirtier faster because they eat more than my gerbils seem to. And so I was thinking that that's probably why. So if you want something that, so also once again to gerbils, it's like if you want something that you want to fill up their feed like every single day, maybe once every 2 to 3 days, I don't know, 4 sometimes, like sometimes they just are more slow, like, but yeah. Energy wise, if you get baby gerbils, it's crazy. I got mine when they're like a year and a half, but I know other people that get their gerbils like at the pet store, you know, fresh, just really young, like 6 weeks probably. Mine were like a year and a half when I got them, but some are like 6 weeks old. They just tear everything so much faster. It's like energy times 2. Like they are just wild. They tear everything apart like even faster. Like they're just crazy. But even though like they seem really like energetic, now that mine are a little bit older, it does seem like they're actually just not really as active in the day. Like hamsters and gerbils are both nocturnal, but it does seem like during the day I do see my hamster out more than my gerbil. Like my gerbil will come out, you know, just like sometimes in the day just to eat, but like on the wheel and everything, it'll go like, you know, really, really fast at night and everything, and it'll be more crazy at night. I mean, it's like that with the hamster too, but like if you want something that's probably like going to be a little bit more just like fun to handle and do all that stuff during the daytime, like when you're more awake, I would definitely say a hamster, just because I've noticed that. And like, I mean, you can't really even handle a gerbil, but like even if you were trying, like sometimes I'll even like try and get my gerbils to eat a treat during the day, and then they'll come up, get their treat, and then they'll just go back down. They won't like stay active so that you could watch them. But like it's just, I don't know, on some of those things, I guess it probably would just depend on which hamster or which gerbil you get. But definitely like handling wise, I would say hamster. And then like, yeah, cleaning wise, I would say like if you don't want to clean it as often, I would say gerbil. But yeah, so I think that's actually all that I'm going to be covering in this video, just because they're so similar, like food's the same, like all that stuff I mentioned earlier, and so those are the main things. It's just like handling and like active and, you know, cleaning out their tanks and all of that. But the other thing is also, like, you will probably have to give your gerbils, I give my gerbils sand baths much more often than I give my hamsters, just because I think it's because my gerbils, they just, run around and just go inside of all the bedding, and they, like, dig more tunnels than I've noticed than my hamsters do, too. So you probably will have to give them a sand bath, like, I think probably, like, once every 2 weeks to a month, somewhere in there, because or even like once a week. I know a lot of people have different opinions on like when you should give them a bath, but sometimes they are a sand bath, but sometimes they just they just get super dirty. So sometimes I have to give my gerbils a bath once a week, like for a month, or but sometimes then it'll just slow down a little bit, and I can just give them a sand bath once a month, or once every 4 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. But yeah, so so that's about it. That's all I'm going to cover, just because, yeah, all the other care is basically the same. Just handling, definitely, you know, that I already said. But yeah, so I hope this helps you guys out a little bit. If you have any more questions that I didn't cover in this video, you can just comment them and I will answer them at as soon as I can. And thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye.